Chris and Frank. All right. Welcome, everybody. I want to do a special Art Life Live today, a little different. Obviously, normally I'm painting. Today, I had so many projects going on that I'm not able to paint for you today, but I didn't want to pass up the opportunity to still go live with you, still connect with you. So I thought, let's spend a little bit of time doing a question and answer, sharing some info with each other. So I thought I'm going to hop on here. So right now I am live on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Periscope, Instagram. They're right down here if you see me reference down here, and TikTok right here. Um, Everything's close enough where I can see your comments. So let's do this on Instagram. If you're watching this, there's a little question box in the bottom, and just ask your question down below in the box. If you're on any other platform, just ask me a question in the comments. We'll get to those. But as you guys are leaving comments and we're getting to this, I wanted to share a quick story. I just did a quick interview with a friend of mine. His name is KJ. He runs a production company, a video production company here in Sacramento, and he's doing these pieces on local entrepreneurs and creators, people who have really been affected by COVID, and just how a lot of our lives have changed for the better and for the worse. And that has changed in this time, I've also been equally or probably even more inspired by everything going on. And so, anyways, we also did a performance for that video and for that interview. I can't wait to share it with you. But for now, as you guys are joining us, let me know where are you tuning in from. I want to shout out your city. And then also, if you have questions, if you're on Instagram, I'm referencing them down right here. Just ask your question down below in the box with a question mark. On any other platform, just ask your questions down below in the comments. So I want to do a quick Q&A session with you guys. You can see the painting behind me. I was painting earlier for another filming session that we did. And so that's why I'm not set up right now to paint, because we already got our painting done. But again, I just want to come on here and still go live with you. So thank you for joining. In the meantime, I'm going to start answering some questions, and let me know where you're tuning in from. So I already see Puerto Rico. I see DC. Welcome. I see Scott in Missouri. Sinan in Montreal, Canada. Welcome. I see another DC over here. By the way, my first show back will be on August 1st in Washington, DC. It's a private event, but I'll be bringing you guys along for the journey as well. So I see on TikTok, Colorado, Bronx. What else? Let me know, where are you tuning in from? I see Utah, Cleveland, Ohio. We've got India joining us. Let's see, where else are you tuning in from? All right. So let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm going to start answering some questions. You can either ask them below in the comments, and hopefully I can get to it. If I don't get to it, just keep asking below. Otherwise, on Instagram, they're right down here on the device we have over here. Just ask me the questions in the little box with the question mark, and I would love to share. So let's see. So I'm going to answer this first question. So I think their name is Joshma_RTS asked, are all your clothes just like that, or is it just old ones? So I'm assuming they're asking about why I look like I'm covered in paint. And all the clothes that I wear, they all start out clean, but because of the process, because of my, how much I move and paint, I get paint everywhere on everything. So this is how I look. My life is covered in paint. I've learned to embrace it and accept it, and it's beautiful. Every time I see someone trying to paint and they're trying to not get paint on their clothes, I feel like they're missing out on just being free while they create. So I highly recommend, if you ever get a chance, to be free while you create. Don't worry about getting paint on your clothes. Just paint. And my clothes just look like this. So I think I have something in my eye. I'm good right there. All right. Let's see. I see, by the way, quick shout out to Dominic on Facebook in New York. Welcome to you. Let's get to the next question. I'm going to check. So TikTok is right down here. Let me just see if I see any good questions down here. Lots of love. So someone asked on TikTok, do you paint on canvas drop cloth and do you paint it black? So what I paint on is just canvas. Let's break down what is canvas. So way back in the day, before the Industrial Revolution, where we could have really anything created for us, artists used to have to get sheets of cotton, and then they would apply this layer of this stuff called gesso. Now, gesso helps seal the surface of the cotton so that when you paint on it, it doesn't get absorbed into the canvas. So what I do is I paint on canvas that's already been gessoed. I buy it like that. I buy it, it's already black. So I don't use drop cloth. Don't use drop cloth, by the way. Your painting will not look that great. If you do though, add a gesso to the surface. Again, the gesso spelled Gesso. Add that to the surface, then paint it black, then paint from there. If you're looking for black canvas like the one that I use, go on Google and just type in black canvas on a roll and you have a ton of options that come up. So thanks for asking that on TikTok, right down there. I appreciate that. Let's see. I'm going to answer some more questions down below here on Instagram. Again, if you're on Instagram, there's a little question box with a question mark. I'm going to answer this next one. So someone just asked, do you ever use spray paint? Yes, I always use spray paint as much as I can. I use really any tool that the final image calls for. But from time to time, if you watch my videos, I do add a lot of spray paint, usually accents. A little backstory, when I was in middle school, I used to be really into graffiti. I actually was doing graffiti from 6th grade and then sort of like in the middle of high school. And I would be painting on anything standing up, whether it was trains, walls, bathrooms, you name it. And I remember my high school art teacher, Mr. Sullivan, I remember meeting him for the first time, and he saw my sketchbook that had all this graffiti and all these letters in it. And I remember him just saying to me, David, do you want to get paid to do this or do you want to pay to do it? And I remember him just presenting me with that option of not even thinking about art at the time, that it was something I could actually get paid to do. But also when he was saying, do you want to pay to do this? When I was doing graffiti with spray paint, the potential of paying fines or bail if you did get arrested. So thank you to Sullivan for opening my eyes, but that doesn't mean that I don't love using spray paint. Still love using spray paint. So I use it all the time. I just saw a question down below on TikTok. They asked how old I am. I'm 37 years old, and I've been creating my whole life. So, all right, let me answer some more questions. Today, so I'm not going to be painting today, but I wanted to take some time still to answer your questions and to do some shout outs as well. Let's see. All right. So Fretwood Mac asked, are those glasses real? The frames are real, but I don't have lenses in these because these are the ones that I paint in. So the glasses that I paint in, if they have lenses, they actually fog up and I can't see. But I do wear prescription lenses on a day-to-day basis. So if you ever see me painting and I have frames on, there's no lens. But if you see me day-to-day and I got glasses on, they all have lenses. I have actually really bad eyesight. So thanks for asking that question. Let's see, if you have any questions on Facebook or YouTube, feel free to ask them below in the comments. Let's see. I'm gonna answer some more. Oh, this is great. So here's a great question. So the question below is, I love your work. What's one tip for beginners who want to paint? So my one tip for beginners who want to paint, I would say learn how to draw. So when you learn how to draw, it's the foundation to everything. There's certain techniques that you can learn when you're drawing, whether it's learning about different values of color, so going from light to dark, texture techniques, line, you name it. So if you're thinking about getting into painting, learn how to draw, and that actually may be a great foundation while you're getting into painting. I don't think you need to wait till you know how to paint or actually wait till you know how to draw to paint, but it's just drawing is always a great foundation for whatever you do. Also, I recommend, okay, maybe this is the second tip. I know you asked for one tip. Here's the second tip: draw from life. The more observant you are as an artist, the more observant I think you become as a better painter and creator. So just learn how to be more observant to the things around you. Let's see. So Beth on Facebook said, "Are you going to sell your COVID mask again?" So just maybe a week or two ago, I came out with a limited edition run of custom masks. And by the way, if you're on TikTok, go follow me on Instagram because you won't miss out on all these prints and things that I've been coming out with because I can't really post them on TikTok. But I'm not sure if we're going to come out with masks again. It really depends on where the world is going next. And if we see that there's a need and that you guys want more masks, you let me know. Let me know below if I should come out with more masks. I would love to do that. But for now, we don't have any plans to do that. So thank you for the question. Let's see. So someone on YouTube said, "Love the painting behind you." Let's see. You move out of the way for this. There you go. You can get a little peek of that. All right. I'm just looking at questions down below on Instagram. Okay. Here we go. So Celine G08 asked, what's your favorite part about painting? That's a great question. What is my favorite part about painting? I think my favorite part about painting is the fact that there's no rules. Now, there's principles to follow so that you can read a painting or to help you with your subject. But again, even those are suggested. When I say that there's no rules in painting, I mean that it can be approached so many different ways. Some people like to sketch out their painting and do an underpainting before they even start painting the image on top. Some people just freestyle on the canvas. Other people, they just use a completely different technique. And so what I love most about painting is the fact that there's really no rules, and it's based on how you can motivate yourself to become better at it. And I love pushing myself in everything that I do. And because I love it so much, I love pushing myself to paint as well. So thank you for that question. All right, let's see. So someone asked in the comments on Instagram how much your painting costs. If you ever want information about my paintings or the cost or even different price points, you can visit garibaldiarts.com/gallery. All the info's there. There's different price ranges from 500 to I think 1,000 to 3,000, and then 3,000 and up. And that range can go quite far. So you'll have to do some research. Go to garibaldiarts.com/gallery for that info. Quick shout out to Brazil on TikTok. Thanks for joining me. Actually, I'm gonna say us, because there's a lot of people on this live right now, all throughout this. All right, let me answer some more questions. Thank you for joining right now. Again, I just want to come on here. I'm not painting live today, but I just want to do a quick Q&A. I try to go live at least 3 days a week, so thought we would still go live today. All right, so this is a great question. Brandon Scoopid, or Brandon's Cupid, I think that's probably what the name is. Brandon's Cupid asked, how do you make it look so good and realistic in such short amount of time? So I think he's asking just how do I bring together the portrait in a short amount of time? And the best way I could answer that is preparation. So even though you see the paintings come to life in minutes to music, or maybe it's during a live session and I'm sharing about the process over maybe 30 minutes, the reason why things can get done in such a quick amount of time are a couple reasons. Preparation and just practicing my whole life. Just being an artist, I love the process, but also before I actually started painting, I do a lot of studying before. I make sure my materials are laid out so I'm not guessing where something is when I need it. And it just all falls in line with being prepared for the moment. And in that moment, I'm able to bring the portrait to life so fast because everything's set up and ready to go. So invest that time early on in whatever you do to just set yourself up to be able to, whether it's you're creating quickly or creating things over and over again, just preparation. That is the best way I can describe it. Thank you for the question. Someone asked again, how old am I? How old do you think I am? I'm curious. And you cannot offend me. I do not get offended. So on TikTok, someone asked how old am I? How old do you think I am? I'm gonna let you guys. So someone said 27. God bless you. Someone else said 34. God bless you too. 37. Man, all right, I'm 37. You guys guessed it. You guys just started low, probably to make you feel good, and you're like, let's just inch it up. I'm 37. Proud of it. I love getting older. There's just something about it. Just feeling wiser as the years go on. And plus you just find out things that you enjoy, like whether it's wine, food, conversation. So, all right. Someone asked on TikTok, so I'm going to try to pronounce your name on here. Who's Kells on TikTok asked, do you use Liquitex or acrylic? And do you dilute it all? Great question. So you asked really what type of paint or brand of paint do I use? I use latex house paint. There's nothing special about it. I pick a paint so that I don't have to mix anything with it. I normally use Behr paint in the studio. Even when I use acrylics, say, from the tube or from an art store, I still like something that's like a medium body, but I don't like to have to add anything to the paint. So, but the paints I use for the large portraits, it's all latex paint, house paint, interior, and I don't add anything to it. It's just good to go, ready to go. All right, I'm gonna answer some more questions. If you have questions, all right, so someone asked on Facebook, Kenneth, any chances that Billie Eilish becomes available as a $20 print? So there's certain prints that we can print, and there's just certain prints that we can't. Billie Eilish portrait is not one that we can do as a print. It's just not, you have to get licensing, and there's copyright issues with things like that. So we won't want to venture into that. Unfortunately, the Billie Eilish print will not be available as a print anytime soon. So sorry about that. All right, next question. I'm just scrolling below, looking at questions on Instagram. And if you want to ask me a question on Instagram, there's a little box below with a question mark. Otherwise, just ask me a question in the comments, whatever your platform you're watching this on. I'm just reading some. Oh, this is a great question. So someone on Instagram asked, it's Lisa Rose Castagna. I think that's her name. So you always keep a sketchbook with you wherever you go. I do. I always have a sketchbook in my backpack. I love to draw. I grew up drawing. I've been drawing my whole life. Drawing to me is therapeutic. It's there's an exercise to it. There's a way to just, I don't know, get your ideas out. It's like taking notes from your heart. That's to me what drawing feels like. So I do keep a sketchbook with me in my backpack. I always travel with a backpack, or just day to day I have a backpack in there, my laptop, and my sketchbook. I love to draw, always. Thank you guys for joining me today. I'm gonna keep answering some questions. I've got comments up here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Periscope. I've got comments down here on Instagram and TikTok, so keep asking them. All right, so this is a great question. All right, so artist Brian27, you asked on TikTok, said, how can I tell my mom that art is a job? All right, so young artists and creators out there, parents to artists and creators out there, let me tell you this: arts, media, and entertainment is the biggest growing, if not the biggest job sector in the state of California. So that's my first answer to you. Second is, if you wanted young artists or creators, if you want to share with your parents that art can be a career, uh, think about everything in the world around you. Think about the streaming services that you see now on TV. It's not just limited to watching animated films or special effects in just movies that we see in theaters. There is a huge need for more creators in the future for careers. And that's actually why I started a nonprofit called Creator X. So we specifically reach out to students in underserved areas, lower socioeconomic income areas, to really provide them with the tools, the education, the inspiration that there are so many careers in the arts. So if you could just Google arts, media, entertainment careers, I would take a look at that, see what pops up. But more and more now, there's just a bigger need for creators that need to fill those jobs. And it's not just about being an artist. I'm talking about copywriters, programmers, designers. I mean, you name it, the world around us is surrounded with creativity brought to life. And that stuff doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It's not because someone just wants to manufacture a product. It has to go through a design process. And to do that, we need creators. We need more creators. So hopefully that helps you with talking to your mom about art being a career. Also, in my career, I, have been fortunate to be a professional painter for the past 17 years. And, what comes with that is a lot of trade-off. So when you become a professional artist, you have to first understand that you're not going to be creating and painting all day long. That's why I'm not painting for you now, because I had a full day of other things I had to work on up until this point. So just really take in the fact that there is going to be a trade-off, and are you willing to trade that off to pursue art as a career? Are you willing to trade off time to create for maybe having to market your story, or maybe taking away time to create from having to work on taxes or balancing your books in your business because now you're a creative entrepreneur? So just know that there's a trade-off that comes with being a professional creative, and you have to first weigh, is that something that you want to do? And if you don't, that's okay. Continue to create as a hobbyist, but as a professional, you actually get a little bit less time to create because you have to balance it out with responsibilities. But those responsibilities help you sustain being able to create for a longer amount of time and get paid for it as well. So someone asked on Instagram, what time is it there? Here in Sacramento on the West Coast, it's 7:36 p.m. That's what time it is here. Thank you all for joining. I know a lot of you are from around the world. Let's shout out some cities as well. If you want to leave your city below in the comments, I can shout you out. By the way, if you see me looking up here, I'm looking at comments, and down here, I've got comments on several screens right now. And I'm just reading through some comments on Instagram. All right, this is a great question. So on Instagram, they asked, do name brands matter when it comes to paint and supplies? I particularly don't think that brands and name brands matter when it comes to using paints. It's all personal preference. The brushes that I use are $1 or $2 each. They're not expensive brushes, but they get the job done, and I love the way that they work. So they're like a no name paintbrush, but they get the job done. When it comes to paint, though, there is a specific paint I use. Behr paint. I get it at Home Depot. It's just the same consistency. Even though it has a name brand, if I found something else that was, say, less expensive or not popular, I would still use it. When I travel globally around the world, I have to source paint in different places. And there's some paints that I've used in Europe that I've never heard of that I love. And so don't think that you have to get the most expensive or the best materials. Just get what you can work with. I always recommend to people when they want to start performance painting or trying this style of paint is get black paper and white paint. And that's the best place to start. Very, very low cost on materials, and and it's very easy. I also have a link in my bio on all my platforms. There's an Amazon link to art supplies, either supplies that I use in the studio or supplies that you can buy for a paint night at home. So find the link in my bio. It says Amazon art supplies. Go there, check those out. Super affordable art supplies that you can buy. Thanks for the question. All right. I'm just looking at comments. You guys are just commenting everywhere. Marissa D said, say meow if you love art. Meow. Love art. All right. All right. So someone asked on TikTok. They said, so Mr. Burns 69 said, what's the benefit in painting upside down? There really is no benefit to painting something upside down. It's just a different way to create. There's exercises that I learned early on. There are drawing exercises. And one of them was the image that we were drawing from, to put it to the side, turn it over, and start drawing from that. Now, we did that as an exercise because it gets your mind off trying to make it look like whatever object or subject that is. Because then you start to focus on creating shapes or lines. And eventually all those lines and shapes together, flipped it over, becomes the image. So painting upside down or drawing upside down an image is a great way to learn techniques and how to bring an image to life, and understanding that it's just shapes and colors that all add up. Also, it's just fun to do as well. So thank you for that question on TikTok. Let's go. All right. I'm just scrolling through some comments on Instagram. Also, let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know what city you're in. I want to shout out your city as well. So I was just reading a question. Jess on Facebook said, would you ever paint in the dark or blindfolded? I'm pretty sure I've painted in all lighting. And would I paint with a blindfold? I don't know. I'm sure one day I'll try it. Let's see. Oh, sorry. So I'm going to answer this question again. Scott said, why do so many painters start the painting upside down? Let's break this down. So performance painters that paint live on stage, they're serving a purpose. They're entertaining an audience. Even though most people are used to seeing an artist in a gallery or a studio, when you're on stage, now you're an entertainer. And now you have to make the art process interesting, engaging, entertaining for your audience. So sometimes that requires doing it in different ways, creating it with different processes, and doing it upside down sometimes just makes it interesting and fun for the audience. So I commend any artists who can paint upside down. I know personally it is not easy. So shout out to the artists that paint upside down. Shout out to Slime Queen 12345. Shout out to you. I think you're on Twitch. Welcome, South Wales. Let's see. I see Chile on Instagram. I see India on Instagram as well. Let's see. Where else are you tuning in from? Let me know your I see LA, Memphis, Tennessee. I'm looking at TikTok right now. Arlington. I'm assuming that's Arlington, Texas. Arizona, Phoenix, Chicago. Shout out to you guys. Let's see if I can get a couple more questions on here, and then we're going to sign off. I know you guys are busy, so thank you for joining me just for a little bit. I'm just scrolling through some questions. All right. So I am Drezito on Instagram asks, what's your favorite place to perform at? He already knows because this is where I met him. Madison Square Garden is my favorite place to perform. I have had the pleasure to perform for many NBA halftimes for the Knicks. They brought me in, and being a kid from Sacramento, going to a place like New York City, being at the center of Madison Square Garden and performing, and then getting the love from the audience, there's nothing like it. I think I've actually performed at Madison Square Garden more than any other venue in the world. last year I had the opportunity to go on tour and open up for the band Kiss. So when they got to Madison Square Garden, it was the most electric venue on the tour. I would say the next best venue that I performed at, that was just electric and crazy and alive, was actually Russia. So last summer we performed in Moscow and St. Petersburg, Russia, and they were in like massive stadiums. I think also Kiev, Ukraine as well. They were just like, it was just insane. I mean, everyone in actually every European show, people are standing up throughout the whole show for the openers, for the headliners. They're just up, ready to be entertained. So shout out to Madison Square Garden, favorite place to perform. And my second place to perform is really Eastern Europe. So Russia and Ukraine, some of my favorite shows on tour. Great question. All right, let's get a couple more questions in, and then we'll sign off. So yes, Jess on Facebook, Kiss at MSG, favorite place. All right, so let's see. Someone from shout out to Iran. Someone from Iran is joining us. Hello to you. I see Natali in Brazil. Shout out to you as well. As I pull up this last question, I just want to thank you all so much. Last week we released a print entitled "Are We Next?" We sold a little over 250 prints, and we donated the proceeds to Black Table Arts, which is a arts nonprofit based in Minneapolis, and they're doing a lot of amazing things there. So we couldn't have done that without your support. I'll be coming out with another print either the end of this week or next week that will be benefiting another program in the Minneapolis area. I'm not from there, but I've been there quite a bit. I know that it's been the center point of a lot of recent events, but I just want to personally invest in the programs that I believe in that area, because we can definitely march, we can protest, we can vote, but being in a position like me where I'm at, I know we can give, and we can give money to organizations who are actually helping people on the ground level. So that's what I want to keep doing. We'll keep doing that. We've always done this. We've raised over $6 million so far throughout my career for various nonprofits, and that will not stop. It's just that recently there's some recent events that happen, when it comes to racial injustice, that we're going to keep using our platform to call out and raise money to help organizations that are fighting against that. So I appreciate you all so much for helping with those causes. So look out for the next print that comes out. Most recently I did the This Is America painting, and also the We Will Grow. Which print should we come out with next? You guys can let me know. Someone asked, what is my race? Excuse me, I had to burp. What is my race? What is my ethnicity? I am half Mexican, and the other half is Black, Italian, and everything else but Asian. Most people think I'm Filipino, but I am mixed with everything but Asian. And I am as diverse mixed as you can think of. Even though I feel like I really don't fit in any particular, place, that's just something that I've always dealt with growing up, and not feeling enough of any ethnicity or race. But also I've just owned the fact that I'm human, and I love my brown skin. I love that I come from one of the most diverse cities in the world, Sacramento, and I love everyone. So I'm mixed with everything. All right. Any more questions? Let's see. All right. So someone said, have you ever been to Indonesia? I'm pretty sure Bali is in Indonesia, right? Can someone confirm that for me in the comments? Is Bali in Indonesia? If it is, which I'm pretty sure it is, I have been there, and I've performed in Bali before for a big event last year. So, and also, shout out to Angela Lyons on Facebook. She said I should do both This Is America and We Will Grow. I have to say, she is a new collector, and thank you, Angie, so much for the support recently. It's been the biggest blessing. So thank you, Angie, and we will definitely come out with some more prints into this week. So just stay tuned. Also, if you're on TikTok, you're still watching this, Do me a huge favor if you don't already follow me on Instagram, go do that because I post things on there that I can't post on TikTok, whether it's a new print, whether it's, just something inspirational. I'm doing my best to bring those more to TikTok, but for right now, go find those on Instagram or whatever platform that you're on. I post quite a bit on Instagram, more inspirational, daily images. I post a lot of videos on TikTok, and then, we can do longer stuff like this on every other platform. So someone else said I'm Indonesian. They're Indonesian. I'm not, but they are. Shout out to you. All right. All right. We're going to sign off. Before I sign off, shout out your city below. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And as you're doing that, I cannot thank you enough for the continued support as we do these lives 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Most of the time I'm painting. I didn't do it today, but I still wanted to take time to connect with you. I still wanted to answer your questions on TikTok, Instagram, and then we've got Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Periscope, and I'm sure there's something else. But I just appreciate all of you for joining. Shout out to Felix in Elk Grove. Let's see. Bunny.739 in India. Natali in Brazil. Welcome. Let's see. I see Joan in Sacramento. Shout out to you. Jolie on YouTube. San Leandro. Yay area. Paul on Periscope. Cambridge, Ontario, Canada. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of nice to be here with you and I'm not sweating. Even though I love sweating while I paint, it's just kind of nice. I'm not gonna lie. I see Disney Poppy 122 in Georgia. Let's see. Lenin Nantonio is in Chile. Let's see. All right, Indonesia here. Let me go to TikTok. Go through these. Someone asked, do I speak Spanish? I'm working on my Spanish, by the way. I'm working on that. Felix asked, where can I purchase your artwork? Go to garibaldiarts.com/shop for prints, or go to garibaldiarts.com/gallery for paintings. You'll find it all on there. Arkansas, shout out to you. Terry, Fruit Ridge in Freeport. That's in Sacramento. Michelle on Periscope, California. Thank you for joining. All right. So before I sign off, I want to leave you this last message to always create with paint, passion, action, intent, new, and to teach. And that is the foundation of everything that you create. My name is David Garibaldi, and this was Art Life Live. Peace.